Okay. Before we get started, I want to talk about this before we get started on the fractions and decimals. When we're talking about improper fractions, we're talking about, for example, 99 over 4. Okay, this is an improper fraction. Why is it an improper fraction? Yeah, okay. Both of you said the same thing. Bottom line is the top number, the numerator, is bigger than the bottom number, the denominator. Okay. To change this to a mixed number, okay, you simply divide 4 into 99. Okay. 4 goes into 9 twice, be 8. Remainder 1, bring down the 9. 4 into 19 goes 4 times, be 16. Remainder 3. Take the 3 and put it over the 4, and so that gives me 24 3/4. Okay? So that's how we would change an improper fraction to a mixed number. How you change a mixed number to an improper fraction is just the reverse of that. For example, if I had 11 3/8, okay, we take 11 and multiply it by 8. That's going to be 88. Then I take 88 and add 3 to it. That'd be 91 over 8. Looks like a multiplication sign. I'm going to put the word add. Okay, so that's how we change a mixed number to an improper fraction. Okay, so you sort of need to know those things. It's not imperative that you have to have them known, but it'll help some in what we're doing today. Now, what we're doing today is we are going to talk about changing fractions to decimals, changing fractions to decimals, and then decimals to fractions. Now, those are the two things that we're going to discuss. Okay. Now, there are two types of decimals that we're going to discuss today. Okay. One is terminating, and the second is repeating. Okay. Terminating and repeating decimals. Okay, let me give you an example of both. 3/5. Okay, 3/5. We just talked about that if we wanted to change an improper fraction to a mixed number, we did what? We divided, okay? And what did we divide? Okay, we divided the bottom number into the top number. Okay, so to change a fraction to a decimal, you do exactly the same thing. We take 5 and divide it into 3. Now, obviously, when you're dealing with proper fractions like we have here, 3/5, you're obviously not going to come up with a mixed number. Okay, now, there will be some that are mixed numbers that we change into mixed decimals, basically. Okay? But 5 doesn't go into 3, so we put a 0. Okay? Now we're going 5 into 30. Well, 5 into 30 goes 6 times, and that would be 30, remainder 0. Okay? So 3/5 is equal to 0.6. Okay? No, you don't have to. It's not wrong if you do. Now, this remainder of 0 tells us that this is a terminating decimal. Okay? When you end up with a remainder of 0, it's a terminating decimal number. Okay? Thus, repeating means it's going to repeat a remainder. Okay? Now, let me give you an example of a repeating decimal. 7/12. Okay, 7/12 means I take 12 and divide it into 7. Okay, well 12 doesn't go into 7, so I put a 0, bring up my decimal. 12 into 70 goes 5 times. Be 60, remainder 10, bring down your 0. Okay, 12 into 100. 12 goes into 100 how many times? 8 times. Be 96, remainder 4. Bring down a 0. 12 into 40, 3 times. Be 36, remainder 4. So it keeps repeating the remainder of 4. Okay, so my answer then is 7/12 is equal to 0.583 with the bar over the 3. Okay, because that's what repeats. In other words, if I kept going, this would be this right here forever. Okay, it would never stop, obviously, because it keeps repeating. Matthew?
So you stop and put a bar of it after you get to the same number?
When you start repeating the same digit, that's when you put the bar. Now, it can repeat one digit. It can repeat a block of digits. In other words, it could go 0.1259 and then start over with 1259 again. Okay, so you have to be careful. I can't really say that when it starts repeating the same remainder every time, because when you get into block of digits, it's not going to repeat the same remainder. It's going to repeat the same remainders in a row. Okay, let me see if they give us. Yeah, there's one right. Let me see here. I'm trying to see if they give us one that actually does repeat a block of digits, so I can show you. No, they don't do one in there. Let me look over on the other side. Yeah, okay, there's one. All right. 13/33. Let's do this one. 13/33. So that means 33 into 13. Okay, it's always bottom into top number. Okay, regardless of what the top number is, regardless of what the bottom number is, it's always denominator into the numerator. Okay, so now, obviously 33 doesn't go into 13, so I put a 0. 33 into 130 goes 3 times. Be 99, and that would give me a remainder of 31. Okay, bring down a 0. So 310. 33 into 310, 9 times. Okay, that would be 7,297. Make sure that's right. 7, yeah. Okay, that gives me a remainder of 13. Okay, well, bring down a 0. 33 into 130, 3 times, 99, remainder 31. So you can see here that it's doing those two remainders every time. Okay? And so that tells me that this is going to be a 9 right there. So you have 0.39, 39, 39, and then it keeps going. Okay, so the answer for this one would be 13/33 is equal to 0.39 with the bar over both of them. Okay, and like I said, you will have some that may, usually I believe, I remember right, if you have a fraction that is a denominator of 7, usually it's going to be a very long repeating decimal number, and it's going to repeat a very long block of numbers. Okay? For some reason, for 7, that's the way it is. All right? So there's repeating digits, there's repeating blocks, and there's repeating every other digit. Okay? Now, do this one on your own here. 7 and 9 over 20. Change this to a decimal. Now, the 7 has no bearing on it. The 7 you just bring down into your answer. So it's going to be 7 point something. Okay, you figure out what the something is. All right, we got 7.45. Okay, so you divided 20 into 9. Okay, and that's where you should get the 0.45. Okay, so the whole number has nothing to do as far as what you have to divide. You just simply put the whole number in front of the decimal and then go on with the rest of the number. Okay, now, so that's how you change fractions to decimals. Let's look at changing decimals to fractions. Okay, to do that, you have to remember our decimal places. You have the ones place value in front of the decimal. Behind the decimal, you have the tenths, the hundreds, the thousandths, and the 10,000ths. Okay, and obviously 100,000ths, millionths. Okay, you can keep going further and further. Now, what we are going to learn today is we are going to change terminating decimals to fractions. Okay, I'm not going to worry about repeating decimals. Okay, to be real honest, it's about a 5 or 6 step process to do that, and you won't ever use it. Okay, and so there's no, there's really no reason. There is, for example, there are some that would be good for you to memorize. For example, 0.6 with a bar over it is 2/3. 0.3 with a bar over it, 1/3. Okay, those are two that you'll run into quite often that you can just memorize. Okay, it's the process. I think they don't even go over it. They really don't even go over it as in the book. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on doing it ourselves. In our other 7th grade book we used a while back, it did go over it, and I found that it really wasn't very useful. So, having said that, let's talk about terminating. Now, terminating ones are very simplistic. For example, 6.24. That is a terminating decimal number because it has no bar on it. Okay? Doesn't repeat. So therefore, how we change that to a fraction is I simply take the 6 and put it out in front. Then I have the tenths and the hundredths place value. Okay? So I take 24 and put it over 100. Okay? Now, I must simplify the fraction. Okay? Simplify means to reduce to lowest terms. So, what can I divide into 24 and 100? What common factor is there? 3? 4? 2? So is there one higher than 2? 3? 3 goes into 100? 3 goes into 133 and a third times. 4. You divide by 4 to the top and bottom. And there may be something else. Okay, we'll just have to see. 4 goes into 24 6 times. 4 goes into 100. How many times? 25 times. So I have 6 and 6/25. There is no other common factor between 6 and 25. And so therefore 6/25 is your answer. Okay? Let's look at another one. 4.175. Okay, once again, the 4 just comes outside in front of the fraction. Okay, then I take and put 175 over 1,000. Okay, now I can reduce that down. I can reduce that down by 25. Okay, 25 goes into 175 7 times. 25 into 1,000 goes 40 times. So I have 4 and 7/40. Okay? So, not really that hard as long as you know your place values. All right, now, okay, your homework. 4.7, 14 through 38.